So you need to start shivering like you got out of Arctic Dogs. You would think Arctic Dogs would be the colder movie.
Well, Chicago was January for Halloween.
That's what. Yeah. I was telling you. I was like, that's what Doug and I were saying when we reviewed Terminator last night. We're like, we kept having to remind ourselves it's Halloween. We're going to the Terminator Dark Fate, and it's snowing outside. Clearly, what else are you doing for Halloween?
I worked.
I guess technically I did.
Yeah.
Going to Terminator Dark Fate. Well, Arctic Dogs definitely felt like work earlier. I will just put this out there. Harriet, better movie than Arctic Dogs.
Okay, I'll have to take your word for it. I mean, I was going to say good movie. It was a good movie.
No, yeah, it is. It is a good movie. No, yeah, I didn't mean that. But it's still a piece of shit.
At least it's better than Arctic Dogs.
Better than Arctic Dogs, I guess. If you have to force that out of me. No, this is good. It makes sense that we're both at this movie and Motherless Brooklyn later on, after we were talking about like Oscar films last week.
And by the way, I want to I don't know. Do you want to call this? Do you want to call this Oscar bait? Because I mean, a lot of people took what I said like I was trying to call Black and Blue Oscar bait, which what I was saying was maybe it was unintentional Oscar bait. It was like it's only Oscar Black and Blue would only be Oscar bait because the Academy locks on to stuff.
Oh, yeah, the Academy likes certain kind of movies, certainly. Yeah. This movie, I mean, like a lot of movies put out like this at this time of year, they get put out towards the end of the year because, well, that's just when Oscar season is.
Okay.
But to say something like, when something is like purely Oscar bait, there's more of a level of cynicism in the part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's sort of like less that you're actually trying to make a great movie and more you're kind of cynically just kind of making a hard drama for Oscar season.
Yeah.
This certainly is it being put out this time of year maybe for that reason. Yeah, which a lot of Oscar contenders are. Would I say that this is like cynical Oscar bait or anything? No, it's a good movie.
Okay. Yeah, no. I guess I just wanted to get the terminology clear, especially even for commenters.
Goldfinch is like, Oscar bait is my word. Yes, it is, Goldfinch. Oscar Goldfinch. Kicking myself. I think I went that whole review of Goldfinch without making that joke. How did it hit me? Months later after seeing the film.
Don't you hate that?
This is the Harriet Tubman biopic, and it's what's her name? It's the actress from Cynthia.
Hold on, IMDb time.
It's a race.
Oh, damn it.
Cynthia Erivo from Bad Times at the El Royale.
Okay.
It's the biopic on Harriet Tubman, which the movie starts out her being a slave in Maryland. Focuses a lot at first on her escape and traveling 100 miles to Pennsylvania, where she gets her freedom in Pennsylvania and then starts working for this group to sneak back into this slave state, the slave area in Maryland, get as many people as she can, go on this 100-mile journey back and forth to again free as many of these slaves as she can. And that's what the movie is. And as far as biopic movies go, it handles it well. Biopics can be kind of a crapshoot, certainly in terms of pacing. I thought this movie had a pretty decent pace to it, and it did get pretty intense in scenes.
Yeah,
where she's escaped. That scene with her on the bridge where she escapes.
Yeah.
And dude from Billy Lynn's Halftime Walk. You already got to put up Joe Alwyn, who's the
Gideon.
Yeah, Gideon,
Yeah.
who's the slave owner in the house who they couldn't have gotten.
Well, the slave owner's
son. But then he died. The old bastard dies at
Yeah.
the beginning of it, so he becomes the evil, like, slave owner. And they couldn't have got a more evil-looking dude.
Right?
They tried,
Dude.
man.
That dude makes me want to shave my goatee because he looks so evil. Like, nope. I'm not looking like a slave master
I don't want to be confused with a slave owner. I better shave this off. I don't want to be confused with the slave owner. I'm gonna go around in blackface. No, dude, no. This will end worse for you. At least
Take a page from Justin Trudeau. Don't do that.
at least do it off camera. On someone else's channel, not mine.
Right.
No, that scene on the bridge where they're like, come on back.
Yeah.
We won't sell you. We'll keep you with your sister and everything.
And we won't hurt you much.
We won't hurt you much. Standing there between her there and jumping on, like, it was an intense scene. And the movie's also got some, like, really good drama in it too.
Yeah.
How she's married at the beginning of the film and her husband's a free man.
Mm-hmm.
But the slave owner won't let her go, so when she does escape, and she escapes and is gone for a year and presumed dead, presumed that she drowned,
Right.
and then comes back to get her husband and everything.
Right.
She goes this 100-mile journey there, 100-mile journey back, goes back into this slave land that she escaped from, and her husband's there like, I thought you were dead. I remarried, and I'm about to have a kid. And I'm like, awkward. Most awkward thing ever. Dude, timing.
Right.
I love the part, too, where it's at the beginning of the film, and the old slaving bastard is standing up there going like, I ain't letting you go. Where's my tea? And so he, and then she goes in the woods and, like, power prays and is like,
Right.
Strike him down, God, strike down this old bastard. Gideon the son standing there and seeing this, like, God ain't talking to you. You get back over there. And the next scene is the old dude is dead, and Gideon's son standing up there like, oof, oof. There is a little power in this prayer. Oh, God.
So if I could maybe be a little bit of a nitpicker.
Yeah.
And this isn't something that, like I said, I did like the movie. I did think it was a good movie. I will say though, there were a few like tropes that they couldn't resist, like the power praying. She runs up and she just collapses. Oh Lord, it's like, oh, get out of here, movie.
So there were a few things about this with like the praying and the psychic visions that she has.
Yes, thank you.
It's kind of, if you think about it, like, it's weirdly structured.
Hey, history
almost
books.
like a superhero movie
Yeah,
in parts,
yeah,
because she does kind of have the spider sense in some scenes where like she'll pause and like there'll be sound effects and everything like that.
Oh, hold on, we can't go this way.
Yeah, I'm like, so she's got psychic powers in the movie, and like God gives her visions of things that are going to happen in the future, so she'll know which way to turn, which way to not. I was watching it going like, because I was like, I respected that they really went for it in that angle, but I was thinking, like, in some scenes it is edited to where, like, she has spider sense.
Yeah.
And,
there's one the history books didn't mention. Apparently,
or maybe they did.
Harriet
like,
Tubman, Harriet Tubman was psychic, apparently.
I don't want to say that, because I'm like, for all I know, like, that is in there. But even when she's predicting
in the history books?
In the history book. I mean, I don't know. Like, I never make any absolute statement that I don't know on here.
I'm just saying that I know that the only absolute I will say is that history books didn't mention that she was psychic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you have one of those old slave in history books?
Well, I did get my education from Jerseyville, so yeah, probably.
In the land of Lincoln, that's no excuse. It's like when you see like Confederate flags like being sold at like the state fair or the mall or something, and it's like, Lincoln is literally buried in this town.
I was gonna say, dude, you did live in Springfield.
Oh yeah, mm-hmm. Born and raised.
I was gonna say you didn't see any rebel flags or anything?
Oh yeah, like at the state fair and like at the mall, it like shops at the mall and things like that.
Yeah.
And I go like, this is not only the land of Lincoln. His body is a couple miles away.
Right.
The museum's right there.
Right.
Silly.
I was just going to say, you know, don't overestimate.
Don't get me wrong. I still bought it because I do have some Lynyrd Skynyrd albums at home. Like,
so not what I was saying.
You had to buy it because I mean, who doesn't love Freebird? I mean, come on.
I'll wave my rebel flag while I listen to Freebird.
Yeah, it's fine.
Freebird, woo!
Yeah, I play some Southern rock on the radio sometimes. No, but like, so there was a few things about the movie where I was like, yeah, okay, this is very bio movie heavy in some aspects of it. That kind of being one of them. I mean, it is certainly an inspirational film.
What I loved about it was how many. Do you know how many times I've seen on the internet and like other shows they talk about the Underground Railroad, like it's a literal underground railroad, like a makeshift subway, and I'm just like, that's not what that means. Like, so I do like how the movie kind of like, no, there was no actual railroad.
And I like too that it went like okay, when she says that her name is Harriet Tubman because she starts out Minty and then when she's in Pennsylvania, like, what do you want your name to be? Like, it could have done like I don't know, it could have done like corny movie bio stuff, like, I don't know, she looks up at the TV and there's a man selling tubs, like, Tubman. Maybe that really happened.
She looks out the window and sees like a barbershop. Harriet Tubman.
like in Solo. Last year's historical biopic. Solo, a Star Wars story. No, but like when it was doing like that, and like this actress loves play between this and Bad Times at the El Royale. She loves playing roles where she can break out into song like quite a bit, because she did in that movie too. And it did. There is a lot of parts where it kind of will sort of repeat some of the same dramatic moments. It's an inspirational movie, certainly, but there are a lot of scenes that can be chalked up to kind of the same thing, where it's dude saying, you can't do this, don't tell me what I can't do, but you can't do this, does it? There's quite a few times in the movie where that same kind of setup happens, right, more than once. I agree. But what it does well is certainly the acting on the part of her as Harriet Tubman, and the villains too. Yes. Like, it's got a collection of some pretty loathsome villains, and those actors do a really good job. Like, it keeps it suspenseful because you want to see her take these guys on. Like, you want to see these people get away. The movie does that well. I mean, what are we saving? Are we saving spoilers? Are we not saving spoilers? The only spoiler I'll really say about this is the North wins the Civil War.
Oh, dude! Come on, man. Jeez, I'm only at the part where Lincoln gets elected. Jesus,
I'm only at Winter Soldier. I haven't gotten to Civil War yet.
Okay, that was a good joke.
So, there is this sequence at the end that has to do with her and Gideon, and it's really well done. The acting is very good. It is suspenseful. And
okay, good. We're on the same page.
That was a suspenseful scene. I mean, it brings in the psychic stuff a little bit, where she like predicts the Civil War, and you hear the sound effects of the Civil War. But the acting is solid. These two leads are really good.
They are really good.
And it ends on a good note. It ends on a good shot. It's a movie that I didn't think really overstayed its welcome. Nope. It really kept the pace moving. Yeah. It did. There's a lot of chases in the movie. There's a lot of sneaking around, sneaking into people's houses, hiding here, hiding there. It's got a good level of suspense to it. As for like, seeing it in the theater, sure. I mean, it's worth seeing in theater. Like, at the least, like, you know, like an afternoon price or something
Yeah, definitely,
like that.
definitely.
Because it's also a well-made film. Were there any other kind of tropes about it, or
Can we talk about when Henry Hall said we're going to need a bigger cart?
Thank you so much for reminding me of that. Okay, so again, the movie's not without its flaws. Like, I mean, it's a really good movie, but okay. So yeah, there is like this chase going down where they're getting like 20 plus slaves the hell out of there, and that dude comes up with a cart for him. A bunch of slaves come out, like, so they can get away, and in this intense scene, this really suspenseful level of action going on, he goes, "We're gonna need a bigger cart." And I went,
Jesus. Stop
really?
it. We both started laughing. That was the one moment in that movie where, in a serious, I'm sure the rest of the theater was like, the fuck are those two laughing at?
Yeah, wouldn't you expect a Jaws reference in this movie by Harriet Tubman? And then I like that they doubled down on it, and he says it again
We're
later.
gonna need an even bigger
told
cart.
you, we're gonna need an even bigger cart. Dude, really? Okay. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
The rest
Why
of the
not?
movie's pretty good. Let's just give him that one.
So just prepare for that Jaws reference in there, because it will just.
That's like when they're having them. That's like if when they're having that meeting in Pennsylvania earlier, they're all gathered in the room talking about how to sneak the slaves out. If all of a sudden you just heard on the chalkboard in the background, and like, "I'll get them slaves for you." The whole damn thing. We should hope you would rescue them whole.
200 now, 200 when I get the rest.
I don't know if I trust this guy. But no, yeah, I recommend seeing it. Like, it's not. It's a really good biopic. It's one that if you see it in the theater, you'll come out and be like, yeah, that was really well done. But even if you wait at home and watch it on Netflix or something, it's good for if you were to even do that too. This isn't going to make my 10 best by any means, but no, I enjoyed it. Any final thoughts about it, really?
Just good movie. I mean, I think we covered basically everything.
We did, and I don't know about you, but I'm starving.
Right. Let's hit rock bottom.
Yeah. I sent that text to Laura earlier. I go, Jerrid and I just got out of the movie. We're going to review it and hit rock bottom. I'm like, wait, the way I wrote that makes it sound like we just got a terrible movie.
We're done. We're hitting rock bottom. Mm-hmm. We're channel over. Sorry. It's been a good run.
It's been a good run, people. It ends where it started. Me and you in a Marvel movie, kinda. So check out our other reviews for Arctic Dogs. It's up, and Terminator: Dark Fate, and we'll be seeing you soon.